Hi there, welcome back. It's just another day and it's cold. Well, it's not super cold, it's like 43 degrees, but this will be another good one for you. I talked a little bit about this a few videos back about Live Nation, Ticketmaster, and just how ridiculous things have gotten with them. Anytime you want to go to a concert or a show or something, they control most of the venues, they control most of the means of getting tickets, and the price is outrageous. Navigating the site is impossible when they do a drop for tickets. So there's another article, I'll link this in the description, but Live Nation executives mocked stupid concert goers in emails where they bragged about how to best rip them off. If that doesn't get your blood boiling, I don't know what does. I said in the last video, we've been trying to see more and more artists before they stop touring forever or they can't tour forever. Some notables: Aerosmith, Huey Lewis in the News, Phil Collins. I was fortunate to see Phil on his live tour in 2019. Always wanted to see him, finally get to see him, and we saw Genesis. Coming out of that Phil Collins show, I'm like, oh my gosh, his son Nick is amazing as a drummer. It would be so cool if they could get him to play drums, since Phil can't do it anymore, and do a tour with Genesis. And I freaked out when they did it a few years later. So I'd always wanted to see Genesis. They're another 80s band of mine that I have always loved. And anyway, getting tickets usually isn't a huge deal with some concerts, with some artists, but others can be problematic. And so once they go on sale, you go into queues and they have all this stuff going on, and there's a scarcity because there's a certain number of seats available, and they just jack up prices. And it's pretty bad when you know deep down in your heart that they're just kind of fleecing everybody. They're taking you for everything that they can because they can. And so these two Ticketmaster, this is Live Nation. Two Live Nation ticketing directors bragged about the high fees on private Slack messages, and the Justice Department and 40 states filed an antitrust lawsuit against Live Nation and Ticketmaster. And so this is back in 2024. I think I talked about this before. So they accuse the company of operating an illegal monopoly over live events in America. Most of the artists, if you want to go see them, you have to go through them, and they know it. And so they just do whatever they can because they can. And so they've been harshly criticized for service fees, a reputation for poor customer service, and calls for an investigation into the companies grew louder in 2022 after Ticketmaster botched the whole rollout for Taylor Swift. And if you remember, again, you had a lot of young girls that were upset because they could not even get close to getting tickets, or the tickets were outrageous. And so, they're trying to see what they can do to fix things. Again, I'm not sure what you can do unless you divide things up, and it might make it an even bigger mess. Who knows? But court documents from the federal lawsuit showed a series of messages from 2022 between Ben Baker and Jeff Weinhold, two regional directors of ticketing for Live Nation amphitheaters, bragging about raising prices of ancillary fees, Bloomberg reported. So in one exchange, the men discussed charging concertgoers $250 for a VIP parking spot. I've often wondered, like, we've gone to some shows where you're parking like a 10-15 minute walk away from the venue because there are these massive lots, takes forever to get in. And you see these VIP lanes where people are spending ridiculous amounts of money because they don't want to park too far away. But $250 on top of the price of the ticket, so they're probably already paying a ridiculous amount for where they're sitting. So $250 for a VIP parking spot. So the men are discussing charging this, saying, "These people are so stupid, I almost feel bad taking advantage of them," Baker said. In another instance, Baker bragged about charging $50 to park in the grass and $60 for closer grass. I just started laughing when I read that. I had to read this to my wife because it's just gotten stupid. And I remember, you go to maybe sporting events, and instead of parking in their parking deck, you park in the street. And the closer you get to the stadium, you might be a mile walk from the stadium. It's $20 to park in someone's lot. And who knows if they even own the lot, but it's $20, you give the guy a 20, and they just stack them in like cordwood into this lot. And then you go in maybe, a couple blocks in, maybe it's $30 now. And then a couple blocks more in, getting closer to the stadium, now it's $50. I mean, it's crazy. People just will not walk an extra 5-10 minutes and just spend the extra money. So, these guys are talking about it on their private messaging. And, even one of them said, robbing them blind, baby, that's how we do it. So they know that what they're doing is criminal. And they know that the people will pay it because what else are they going to do? Baker wrote, I gouge them on ancillary prices to make up for it. Ancillary fees are charges applied to additional services not included in the main purchase price, parking, VIP treatment, merch, things like that. So Live Nation says it's investigating the matter. The Slack exchange from one junior staffer to a friend absolutely doesn't reflect our values or how we operate. Junior staffer, these are two regional directors. I hardly think they're junior staffers. Our business only works when fans have great experiences, which is why we've capped amphitheater venue fees at 15% and have invested $1 billion in the last 18 months into U.S. venues and fan amenities. So, some of the venues I've been to, they're not dumping tons of money into these venues. These are venues that have been built and have been the same way. Every year we go to some show. There's no difference. Maybe there's some signage. They're not dumping all this money into these venues and amenities for fans. I don't know what they're talking about. And then capping the amphitheater venue fees at 15%. Do you really feel that when you go in and you have to pay like $15, $18 for a beer, or they're charging like $25 if you're sitting in the lawn seats, but you can't bring your own chairs anymore? So then they charge you rental chairs. It's just absolutely bananas now. It's really sad. The Justice Department reached a settlement on Monday. The company, they say to open the ticketing platform to competitors and to allow other concert promoters to stage events at certain venues. So they're letting other events and things from other promoters to be in these venues that they either own or they manage. So they're saying, okay, yeah, Live Nation is pleased with the settlement. We've never really relied on exclusivity to drive our ticketing business. It has simply been the result of having the best products, services, and people in the industry. Doesn't that sound great? That's such a pile of crap. Many states declined to join the settlement and said they would continue to pursue their cases against Live Nation. States rejecting the settlement, including Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Illinois. There's a whole bunch of them. So I'll let you read through this in the article that I'll link in the description. But what do you think? What do you think about all this? How many concerts do you go to a year? Are you willing to pay these VIP fees or all this extra like parking closer fees? And I mean, they're already killing us on the parking. They charge more and more to park at a venue that has a lot already as it exists as part of it. Most of it, in a couple of the places we go, it's just grass or just gravel. And so the maintenance is little to none. They don't do anything with it. And then, of course, they hold no responsibility over what happens to your car. It's absolutely criminal, the amount that they make in parking fees. And it's bedlam trying to get out. I mean, some places, you look up some of these reviews on some of these outdoor concert venues, and some people are like taking 2 to 3 hours just to get out because it's so gridlocked and bottlenecked trying to get out. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Let me know what shows you have planned for 2026. I think we'll be going to some. Don't have anything locked down yet, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully we get a little bit of a break coming up here, and we'll see. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.